Welcome to our Ayurveda talk tonight. We are now in August here in the summer, and that means that we have had 2 solid months of heat. And I just wanted to go over what starts to happen with people when they have been having to deal with a lot of heat for an extended period of time. Now, I have clients who live in even hotter temperatures, like in Arizona and Las Vegas, than where we are. And they're dealing with over 100 degrees, over 110 almost every day for months. So when that starts to happen, we start seeing Pitta accumulate. So heat starts to accumulate. And this is why in the fall, you will hear me encourage everybody to do the fall cleanse, because what we're trying to do is remove excess heat before we get into winter, because that can cause an imbalance. But we're still in the middle of summer and we're dealing with a lot of Pitta symptoms. Heat has now been accumulating. What that means is that it's now building. So you're starting to feel, I have a lot of clients starting to feel heat symptoms that aren't subsiding. It's starting to affect how they eat. It's starting to affect their sleep. It's starting to affect their mind. It's starting to affect how they interact with people, so the less patient. And I did talk a little bit about negative emotions that arise from heat symptoms, but I want to let you know that it's going to start getting worse because heat actually accumulates and peaks at the beginning of fall, not in the middle of the summer. So that means heat building and building and building and building and building, and it keeps building. It's like a volcano, right? The volcano hits the peak at the end, not in the middle of the summer, at the end of summer. So we want to start helping to diffuse some of the heat, help cool down our bodies consistently, bringing in practices on a daily basis that help us consistently cool down the body. So even if you're not feeling hot, you want to bring in these practices because they're going to help you manage that accumulation. Because accumulation is happening. If you're in a really warm place during summer, accumulation is happening. All right, so what do? Well, we do things like make sure that you are going to bed at a certain time, taking walks in the moonlight. If you are exercising, you're doing it during the cooler times of the day. You're making sure that you are not engaging in heated conversations, so you remove yourself. You make sure that you're bringing in foods that are going to be cooling for your system. So if you do not know what those foods are, reach out to me and I will get you that Pitta food list so that you know what foods land on that scale. Remember in Ayurveda, we have a scale from hot, neutral, cool. Every food lands on that scale. And we want to move Pitta down to the cooler foods that are going to actually help pull out heat. That also is where the 6 tastes come in, because tastes are a way to bring you back into balance. If you are too cool, you can eat spicy hot foods, and that will help balance out that too cool. If you're too hot, you eat foods or bring in spices that cool down. Now, I kind of want to mention something because there is a philosophy of when, like, I like to listen to Dr. Huberman. He's great. And he talks about hot and cold therapies. And he talks about how at night it is the better time to do heat therapy because you're actually doing what your body, you're encouraging your body hormonally to kind of match what your body's naturally wanting to do. So when you take and do heat therapy or take a hot bath at night or a hot shower, what that does is it helps trigger your body's cooling down of your tissues. So your body now starts to cool you down as a reaction to the fact that you just took a hot bath or you did heat therapy. Okay, so the same thing goes for in the morning with cold therapy. Your body you do cold therapy. Well, it wakes you up first off, but it kind of is doing the opposite. So it encourages your body to warm up and get going and wake up. Because when you wake up in the morning, that's kapha time. That's the coolest time. When you go to bed at night, if it's close to 10 o'clock, that's pitta time. That's the hottest time. So this is confusing. And I just watched an Indian restaurant that I follow, and they said, have hot, spicy foods in the summer because it helps to cool down your body. But I do Ayurveda, and in Ayurveda, you could do some of that if it's applying to certain times of the day. Okay. So you don't eat hot, spicy foods in the middle of the day because that's pitta time of day. Maybe you have a little bit of spicier food in the morning because that'll wake you up. That'll help trigger digestion. And we want to have good, strong, healthy digestion. At night, I really am encouraging lighter meals because I want your liver and everything to be able to do what it needs to do. But anyway, he posted that, and it just kind of confuses everybody. It confuses everybody because I'm in Ayurveda, and Ayurveda is from India. And there's always saying, if you run hot, you eat foods that cool down your tissues. Okay. And that is what we do in Ayurveda, and Ayurveda is from India. And this is an Indian restaurant that posted that, and it's very confusing. So there are therapies out there that you do, like heat therapy at night to encourage the hormonal natural fluctuation of hormones, wanting to cool your body down so that you can sleep better at night. Okay, but you've got to be careful, and you got to remember that everything is dynamic. Nothing's so black and white. It's really not. So if you're interested in learning more about that type of stuff, pay attention to what's going on with your body. If you're running hot, just do the cool therapy. Do yourself a favor and just do cool therapies. That means walk, exercise, get out at the cooler times of night. Drink cooler fluids. Make sure you're eating cooler foods. Get involved in activities that help you feel chill and calm and at ease, right? So heat is going to continue to accumulate, and it's going to peak in another month. So you might start feeling worse before it gets better. And if that's happening, well, maybe we need to do a cleanse. All right, so that's just my talk. I want to just kind of make everybody aware of the fact that heat is going to start peaking here in the next few weeks. Pay attention, start diffusing, start cooling down, help move it out. Otherwise, if you're a Pitta person, here comes the volcano, it's going up. The pressure is moving up. So heat symptoms are going to continue to build unless we start helping to cool things down in our life. We're always managing it. You're always managing what's going on, time of the day, the season, all of it. What's going on with you, all of it matters. All right, so reach out to me if you have any questions. Otherwise, diffuse, diffuse, diffuse. Start really bringing in those more cooling practices. If you haven't been doing them, now is really the time to do them because heat's really going to peak here in the next few weeks. Okay, let's get started with our practice and move on from there. We'll do a Pitta reducing practice again tonight.